Hi guys, welcome back to another clip of Schach-manuel-lernen. Today with the second round of the Réti Amateur Open. I had the white pieces, my opponent had again 1800 rating, almost 1900, and he was a junior, so it means they always play better than their rating. So we had the Caro-Kann opening, the first moves were all theory. Bishop d3, short castle, knight e2, rook e8, queen c2, h5 is still theory, short castle, h4. Now, bishop f4 is not the main line. The main line would be h3, knight to d7, bishop d2, something like that. But here I decided to play something different, which is not worse, but maybe to surprise a bit the opponent. Capture, then knight to d7, rook to open file, knight to f8, capture. Now it looks like I lost the open file, but I calculated before that after queen d1 I can play rook e1 in the next move and then I'm back on track. So queen d7, rook e1, queen d6, attacks the knight, queen f3, bishop d7. Now here I should have switched a bit my plans with bishop c4, b4, bishop b3 and stuff like that in order to bring my knight here. But yeah, he can bring his knight here, so the position is quite balanced. I didn't get a lot from the opening. Instead, I played knight to h5. I had some idea that he can't play this because then f6 is hanging. I had some idea of this to weak g6 and then to capture here maybe, but it's not as good as it looks like. So he plays a5, but on the queen side, rook e4 to attack the h4 pawn. Knight to g6, I went back. Yeah, I just can't, and because I placed the rook here, I can't capture on g6. So rook e3, rook e8. Now I made a calculation mistake. Capturing is okay, but then I didn't see that after capturing here, he has just bishop f7. Somehow I still thought the pawn is there. Because otherwise I wouldn't have captured the knight, Then what is better is g3 to bring the knight back in the game and go to a okay-ish, drawish endgame for me. Instead I captured and then queen to e4, knight to f4, g5, important move for black. It pushes my knight away and now he wins a pawn. So now I'm a pawn down. In general, the knight and the queen are a bit a better tandem than bishop and queen. But here, again, I had the wrong plan. I should have played knight to c5 to attack this pawn. Because if he plays this, I can force immediately a draw with perpetual check. And yeah, if he plays queen b8, he doesn't really want to put his queen that passive, because then I can play queen e7 and so on. So he can also play b6, and after capture, we will reach this endgame and I will win the pawn back. So everything is okay. Instead, I decided to give a check. Queen d7, queen f7, queen d8. The idea was to win the pawn back. But now the problem is I won the pawn back, but he will get the open file and my knight is not really active. He played knight to bishop d5, but my queen is just off track, and if I go back to d8, he just comes here, and then I have always here some problems by the back rank and by g2. That's why grabbing this pawn there costed just too much time. So I played queen a1, h3, knight to e1, queen g6, queen d1. Now he put some more pressure on g2. And now, was not my game, another calculation mistake. I thought I have here a perpetual check now, but I realized after king g8 that, there's no perpetual check because the queen would be just a blunder. So I played the check, but then, I just returned. Then he captured on g2. I can't capture back, so I lost a pawn. And here the position is basically lost for white because this bishop in this position is much better than this knight. So queen b1, queen to e2. I make a couple of moves. h3, try to escape with the king. Queen c1, king goes there. g4. Now I capture the pawn, but now my king gets quite open. If I capture, I will have... just for showing, I will lose the knight. So this wasn't possible. That's why knight to e1. Queen there. Now I capture g5, f3. Try to stop g4. But I saw he can play it after queen h4. Because now, this pawn is pinned. So I can't capture. King f1. Queen h3, king g2. So I put a lot of fight in it to survive. And here he made the mistake because he threw his advantage away. He exchanged the queens. He simply thought the endgame is better or winning with the bishop. But in fact it's not. And then here my opponent was really low on time. You always get 30 seconds, so basically you shouldn't lose on time. But here I was quite confident to hold this position. So, here I played king f4 to stop king f5. And after capture, yes, he can play now king f5, but then I can play c4. So it's a bit, double-sided. So king goes there, b3. I need to stop the king from infiltrate here. b5, king e3, f5, king goes there. Then trade one pawn, king e3. And you need to calculate a bit. The computer says, of course, it's a draw. But here... Unfortunately, like my opponent lost on time, he realized that he spent a bit too much time on thinking here, and he made a couple of moves with 2 seconds left on the clock, but then he lost here on time. But we can just check how would be the critical line here. He could have played king e6, king g5, and then here I can play d5. And it looks lost for black, but it holds because he can play f4, then d6, and I will win the pawn with a couple of king moves. I made a video to that separately, but now he has the opposition, and this is a well-known drawish position. But of course I would have played it and tried everything, but So in this position he lost on time. I was lucky in this game. Opening was good. Then with knight h5, I had the wrong plan on one side. And then here I had the wrong plan. So 2 times the wrong plan, and then my position was lost until he decided to trade off the queens. So I started with 2 out of 2. Quality of the games, I wasn't really happy. But sometimes you also just take the win and be happy with it. So wish you a wonderful weekend. Stay healthy, guys, and see you soon.